Now, a lot of you laughed about me saying they want a world government to carry out eugenics. That's their own statement, the 1996 Biological Diversity Assessment official UN policy, saying they want a world government so they can carry out the orderly reduction of population by 80%. And there's hundreds of other documents. And my film Endgame covers hundreds of those documents. Endgame Blueprint for Global Enslavement. By the way, did we get whatistheendgame.com back up? That site had crashed. It's back up. A full bibliography on it. A full bibliography of the film, everything footnoted. If you want to go and find out about eugenics, that's the best place to do it. But right now, before we go to break, I want to play Al Gore 3 days ago, before the Times of London at a press conference, saying global governance will carry this out. Now, I posted the video days ago because the headline wasn't about global government. It was just in a video I posted, and then Drudge Report picked it up Friday. But before that, I got dozens of emails or more saying I was a liar. Global governance doesn't mean government. Listen, dum-dums, and I'm not talking to my general listeners, but those that are in denial, governance means government in the dictionary. Okay? I assure you that we'll pull that up later and put it on screen. The definition of governance means government. But we'll show that to you from Merriam-Webster Dictionary Online. How's that sound for you? Because I'm not going to have denial. This radio show's about hardcore information warfare. Play Al Gore. I assure you Al Gore exists. Here is Al Gore. It comes up in 30 seconds.
From the United States, within 1 month of taking office, President Obama secured $80 billion U.S. for renewable energy and green infrastructure. And then just 2 weeks ago, the House of Representatives passed the Waxman-Markey bill, which, for all of its flaws, does put a price on carbon and is very much a step in the right direction. It achieves real reductions below the 1990 base level by 2020. And that is the threshold that many have said, including many in China, is the threshold that will dramatically increase the prospects for success. But it is the awareness itself that will drive the change. And one of the ways it will drive the change is through global governance and global agreements. But the many business leaders who have been
all right, we'll be right back.
Are among
They're seizing the economy, giving it to themselves, while putting poison in your water and the air. They're killing us. This isn't a joke. Get in the game. We have their internal textbook.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
It is July 12th on the Sunday edition, Sunday, July 12th, 2009. Now, I haven't even begun to get into the textbook itself and his actual quotes. How to poison the water, how to poison the food, how to do it through vaccines. And this textbook, Population, Resources, Environment, again, this is a above PhD level. This is a guy that headed up large sectors of MIT, headed up the technology and biology and science areas of Harvard, and now heads up Obama's operation. But it doesn't matter. You go research all these science advisors. You go research all the heads. The point is, this isn't just one guy who's out here doing government textbooks along these lines. This is the accepted knowledge. This is the on-the-record information. Now, some stations don't carry this first 5 minutes. That's why we have a 1-minute break at 5 after. We're going to go ahead and start taking your calls right now. I'll continue with calls in the next segment. Then I want to, later in the hour, go through this document and then go through some points that I wrote up today that I separately want to make on air about how we should counter this, how we should resist this, and also understanding the mindset of these people, why they're doing this, and explaining to all the environmentalists out there that the Rockefellers over 100 years ago created the environmental movement to demonize mankind to sell eugenics. And they funded Hitler, Planned Parenthood, sterilization, everything that we know of as our society today. IBM, the human genome, Dick Cheney saying kill certain races with race-specific bioweapons. That was even in the Austin American Statesman. This is all being done for a reason, and I'm going to break down the master plan. It has nothing to do with saving the earth, and they admit that. But the reason this is so big is to have an internal government textbook, an internal government policy book, calling for a global policy that we now see implemented. And we see him as Obama's science advisor. This just connected so many other dots and it affirms that our analysis of how the New World Order is operating, what their master plan is correct, and that it was worse than we even thought. And I know it's scary and hard to get folks to wake up to this fact and realize how serious it is. I mean, it really is amazing. Let's talk to Will in Texas. Will, you're the first caller, then George, Sherry, Ray, Scott, and others. Go ahead, Will.
At the University of Texas, and it seems like they're constantly trying to redefine race and update ethnicity and keep subscribing identity. And I see a correlation with that and Nazi Germany and IBM and the information technology movement and everything.
Yeah, that's because they've got to get you infighting in the name of multiculturalism so they can play humanity off against each other, so humanity never gets together and realizes the overlords, the social engineers, the social architects are the real enemy. And so in the name of multiculturalism, they create the divisions. But absolutely, IBM is a complete money trust to carry out eugenics. The Hollerith machine was invented for race mixing studies in the United States. That was then the machine with the tattoos on the people in the death camps to decide how much to feed them, how much to work them to death. Our entire society is run and engineered to carry out eugenics.
Alex, my question is, Julian Huxley, did he come up with the term ethnic group?
You know, I don't know who came up with the term ethnic group, but I know anthropologists and sociologists did. But I know that Obama's science advisor, John P. Holdren, is part of the same society that Julian Huxley and Bertrand Russell were part of, and that's coming up later in the show. Anything else? All right, thank you. Yeah, his phone was really bad, or I'm getting some bad audio here, so we need to get that straight before we come back to the full audience here. All right, more calls straight ahead. Your questions on eugenics, eugenics only. Because what else is there? I mean, they're killing us. This is pretty important info. I'm going to continue with your phone calls until the bottom of the hour. Then I'm going to suspend calls for the balance of the transmission, the last 30 minutes. And I want to not just go over the fact that there's a planetary world government that is setting up a global carbon tax to destroy all industry so that populations are unsustainable, but the mindset of these people and why they're doing it. They are not doing it to even help the planet. And they're on record bragging about this. But they're low-level minions that follow this Gaia religion. They are doing it for the planet. And so we need to stop being children here and stop denying this is going on. I have posted scores of textbooks, government documents, United Nations Biological Diversity Assessment 96, 89, State Department Memorandum 200, the books written by His Royal Highness, the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Charles' father, Queen of England's husband. I mean, there's thousands of these. I've made a film about it, a 2-hour, 40-minute film called Endgame Blueprint for Global Enslavement. Stop denying this if you're driving along in your car, listening in Los Angeles or Chicago or Austin, Texas or Miami or Buffalo, New York. Stop living in denial. If what I'm saying is true, isn't this the only issue? Isn't this the most important issue? This is why they're setting up world government, why they're bankrupting the world economy. And they brag and say they are.